Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Ultra League, showcasing some more fun battles featuring Obstagoon! Obstagoon on a double normal backline, one of my favorite backlines to utilize in all leagues, guys. This is very powerful. And Obstagoon will be serving as the closer on this backline, and I'm sure a lot of you are eyeing those IVs on this Obstagoon and wondering, did this guy miss Calm Day? He's running a non-PvP optimized Obstagoon, and to that I say, I absolutely did not miss Calm Day. I just kept forgetting to put the right Obstagoon on the team, and I just kept winning with it, so we are rolling with a non-PvP optimized Obstagoon. And also in this team, as mentioned, completing the double normal backline is good old reliable Shadow Snorlax on the safe swap, one of the more reliable safe swaps on this team, and is here to draw out any fighters so that Cresselia can take care of whatever fighters may be lurking in the back. Cresselia, it will be the lead on this team, one of the better and stronger lead options in the Open Ultra League. It is amazing. You just really have to keep it far and away from those very powerful ghost types, which is why we've got two normal types in the back. Alright, before we dive into the featured set of the video, we are starting things off with some bonus battles that I thought were tons of fun. Here we go. Solid lead in the form of Tapu Fini. They're staying in on this terrible lead, which means that they're trying to set up a catch and catch some resisted damage on a Registeel in the back. So, team reading. They lead with Tapu Fini, and they've got a Registeel in the back. Generally, they have a Talonflame in the back, but I have been seeing a lot more variations with Trevenant in the back. So it could be either one. We don't know just yet. But here we are. Obstagoon on the Registeel in the mid-game matchup. You have to shield everything from the Registeel because they will threaten to one-shot you and win switch advantage. And you don't want that to happen. You definitely want Cresselia on Tapu Fini, especially if it is running the highly recommended legacy move of Grass Knot. Of course, you can hit it for super effective. And we say bye-bye to the Registeel. They do not want to expend both of their shields in this mid-game matchup. And just like that, we have flip switch advantage, allowing us to align our Pokemon appropriately. And now this is quite tedious here, and they're going to put us out of our misery. I thought for sure that they would absolutely overload on energy, but no, we're saying bye-bye to our own Obstagoon, and we are absolutely fine with that because there it is, right on cue. They've got a Trevenant in the back. This is beautiful when you're running double normal. Just going to pressure that final shield or threaten to do a lot of damage. They shield, and now it is Snorlax time if I've ever seen it, my friends. All they can do is go for these seed bombs. They absolutely cannot go Shadow Ball. That is double resisted and would do virtually no damage. So, speaking of virtually no damage, we're also doing the same because both of our charge moves are double resisted with Trevenant's ghost typing, but these licks are absolutely shredding this Trevenant. And of course, with the Shadow bonus, it is even worse for the Trevenant. Gonna go for another resisted body slam, chip it down, and the switch timers were misaligned because we threw our Moonblast. So we're forced to throw a move, and we're fine with doing this because the more chip damage you can get on Tapu Fini, the better. It does have very nice bulk, especially if it is PvP optimized or has PvP optimized IVs. We tank this all day, no problem. We are just going to overload and get to back-to-back Grass Knots. One will absolutely KO the Tapu Fini, and as we see there, they have surrendered the match. It was over. Cresselia was going to clean up that end game in dominant fashion. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Tell you can almost never go wrong running a very powerful double normal team, and we had a lot of fun with it. And here we go, Shadow Dragonite on the lead. Now, As a Shadow Dragonite player, they have to absolutely fear the Moonblast, and they tried to catch it on their Cresselia. We throw intentionally to chip the Cresselia, as much like with Tapu Fini, it's even better if you can get any chip damage you can on an opposing Cresselia, because as bulky as something like Tapu Fini is, Cresselia is 10 times worse when it comes to bulk, and we're not too bad in the bulk department ourselves here with Snorlax, I must say, which is where we are playing out this mid-game matchup. You just go straight body slam, of course. And Snorlax is an excellent answer to Cresselia, of course, because we run Lick and we are doing super effective damage to it. And slowly but surely, we are absolutely chipping away at the Cresselia. Now, we do have a shield advantage, as they did shield our Moonblast, which was quite interesting to see. And they aggro swap back into their Shadow Dragonite, and they farm us down. So we will shield this. Or no, we're going to let this go, actually. But we are going to have to start shielding at some point. We do shield here, as they are clearly, very clearly, trying to get rid of our Cresselia just as fast as they can. So we are on to that. That is what we're reading. We're reading that they are weak in the back to a Cresselia. Not sure what it could really be, but we do get the attack drop with the Moonblast, and we're catching this next Dragon Claw onto our Obstagoon, reading that they want to get rid of this Cresselia for some reason. They've got something in the back that does not want to see a Cresselia, and oh, it's a Swampert! That's what was hiding from our Cresselia. Of course, they are likely reading that we are running the highly recommended Legacy move of Grass Knot, which, of course, absolutely one-shot Swampert. So, we're going to play this carefully here. Although our Obstagoon is not PvP optimized, we still tank 2 Hydro Cannons from this Swampert, no problem. And they're going to have a hard time farming down before we can get to another Night Slash, which we do here, which will absolutely KO the Swampert. And they do still have that Dragonite left in the back. We do have some residual energy on our Cresselia. We know that, so we're going for this Moonblast. This Shadow Dragonite's putting out a lot of damage. It just had to go. And it's gone. And we say bye-bye to it. They do still have that Cresselia left. Things are getting a little sweaty here. Although we do still have a shield, it's getting very close. A little too close for comfort. And they top left. I think that may have been a little premature, but maybe not. They were going to have a hard time farming down. We were going to get to another Grass Knot, and that's going to be a good game, well played. This double normal team was really putting in the work in the Open Ultra League, and here we go, a Scizor, a Purified Scizor. I haven't seen one of these since the Halloween Cup Ultra League edition. But here we are. We go into our Snorlax, as Scizor is a nightmare for Cresselia, and they're staying in a little bit here, which is quite interesting to see. They're going to go for another Night Slash here. Makes me think that they may be weak to a Snorlax in the back, but we're going to tank this nonetheless, and they tried to catch, I believe, they tried to catch a Superpower onto their Grand Bull, guys. So it's not Shadow, and we are absolutely loaded. We grab the first shield and gonna go for Body Slam number 2. I highly doubt we make it to Body Slam number 3, but the damage has been done. We have a shield advantage and a health advantage for our Cresselia here, and we are going to absolutely take advantage of this and overload on energy. Gotta shield the crunch. It's not a Shadow, but my goodness, it still hits like a truck. And gonna just double up on the Grass Knots and go for Grass Knot number 1 on the Grand Bull. I don't imagine they shield this. They want that Scizor on our Cresselia. Not gonna let that happen. We're going in the Obstagoon, and they've got a Dragon Breath Giratina. I think they missed the idea that they don't have to run their Halloween Cup team anymore. This is the Open Ultra League, but they're still rolling with the Halloween Cup Ultra League Edition team. You'll love to see it, but that's fine. These Dragon Breaths are really starting to dig in on us, but we do have loaded energy. Gonna go for a Night Slash here. And they can definitely let this go, and they do, putting all of the hope and faith into that Scizor, and that's fine. We definitely tank another Dragon Claw. We have to preserve a shield because that Scizor can get out of hand. It is quite spammy with Night Slash. And gonna go for Night Slash. Number 3, speaking of, we're quite low. This Scizor is still quite healthy. Gonna bait with a Grass Knot. Ideally, you want to go Moonblast, but they have a shield and they let that go. They are playing this very interestingly. We're gonna let this go as well. We definitely tank it, and we need back-to-back Grass Knots to seal the deal here. Have to shield this next Night Slash here, in hope that we can outpace them to back-to-back Grass Knots. At this point in the battle, it's very late in this battle. I've lost track of energy. We're going for Grass Knot number 1. We're 1 cycle cut off, and it comes down to CMP tie. My goodness, this is awful. The only hope here is a simul KO, and we simultaneously KO. Oh, what an exciting battle. They played that beautifully, but good game. Well played, nonetheless. I had a blast with the bonus battles as we move into the featured set of the video. We are met with a Giratina. Generally, you could stay in here, but we've got 2 amazing answers to Snorlax on this team. So we go into our safe swap Snorlax. And they come in with a Drapion, non-shadow version, but we are well ahead on energy. Gonna go for Body Slam number 1 on this Drapion. We have the energy lead. Generally, it's not great because Drapion does outpace to the crunches. And they would win CMP tie if they decide to go Sludge Bomb as well. So gonna tank the first crunch. We definitely comfortably tank 2 crunches, no problem, from a non-shadow Drapion. Gonna go for Body Slam number 2 here. And see what they want to do. They shield. That is amazing. We now have a shield advantage, and we will definitely make it to a 3rd Body Slam, even though we do decide to tank this crunch. Like I said, we comfortably tank 2 crunches, and they are absolutely over farming by quite a bit. They should probably not do that in this matchup, knowing that we have an energy lead. And we're seeing how much damage these resisted licks are doing, so we decide to shield this. We're definitely going to be able to lick this thing down. They don't want that to happen, so they lock their Giratina in. They switch lock their Giratina. They had no clue what we had in the back. Insanely risky, and now it's on this Obstagoon, and they top left. Not sure what they had in the back. I would guess Swampert, seeing that very fast top left there. Swampert left with a Cresselia that is still very healthy equals a very sad loss for them, but good game, well played nonetheless. I'm telling you guys, we actually got a lot of top lefts with this team. A lot of them coming from seeing that patented Boostagoon boost. But here we go. Awful lead in the form of Trevenant. We make the play into our Snorlax. They stay in a little bit. I'm not sure that's the right play. A little slow on the swap, but they make a play finally into an Obstagoon here, and it's running the terrible Community move of Obstruct. That means that it is quite a bit worse than if it were running Cross Chop. Please do not run Obstruct. It's not a good move. And we go for superpower number 1. We were able to get to back-to-back because they allowed us to get way ahead on energy, and they tanked the second one after the defense boost from Obstruct and us lowering our attack and defense. They could easily tank that second one, no problem, as they do take us out with a Night Slash. But the damage has been done. That's the beauty of Snorlax on the safe swap. It is amazing, and we have a shield advantage and a health advantage for our Cresselia. They go Obstruct. That does no damage despite being super effective, which again is why it's an awful move. Gonna put this thing out of its misery with a Moonblast. We say bye-bye to the Obstagoon. And now we know that they have a Trevenant, but they've also got an Alolan Sandslash. Oh my goodness, guys. Obstagoon is going to absolutely feast on the remainder of this team. My goodness, it is going to be a fun time for our Obstagoon. Going to go for a Night Slash here. They can definitely tank this from this health range, and they do, but we get the boost, and it was over before the boost, but my goodness, it was absolutely over after the patented Boostagoon boost. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Oh, I'm telling you, my friends, the top lefts were coming in left, right, and center with this team. It was amazing. And here we go. Cresselia mirror match on the lead. So we're going to stay in here a little bit because we want to chip this very bulky Cresselia down a little bit before making the play into our Snorlax. Because you want to swap out. You want to swap into your safe swap on these neutral leads with an ABB-style team so that you can draw out the hard counter to your third. In this case, we want to draw out a fighter if they have one so that Obstagoon is free to wreak havoc on the remainder of the team. That's how this team is designed. We throw Moonblast number 2, going to tank their second Moonblast, because we don't want to give them too much of an energy lead with our Snorlax, so we're going to tank this. And now it is Snorlax time. They do still have a little bit of residual energy, but we force them to swap into a Scrafty. That is this ABB-style team working to perfection, and it's fine. So we're going to tank these power-up punches. They do add up with the boosted counters. They are absolutely shredding, but my goodness, Snorlax, ever the bulky normal tank that everyone loves, is able to get that superpower off. Guys, you cannot play predictably. You cannot play predictably. The predictable play pattern with all Snorlaxes on something that can get hit by super effective damage is to build up to the back-to-back, go body slam, then go superpower. We did that in the reverse order, not wanting to play predictably. And I will say it definitely worked out, as Snorlax absolutely put in the work on this Scrafty here. Gonna go for the Grass Knot. That's all we need to take care of that Scrafty. And they've got a Drapion remaining on the team. So this is looking pretty good. We've preserved quite a bit of health on our Cresselia. If we need it, we've got a shield advantage. We're in a good spot here. We do tank the Sludge Bomb, no problem. I'm gonna look to overload a little bit. And this is just a crunch. This is resisted. They just want to get as much damage in as they can on our Obstagoon, presumably to put us within Grass Knot range, I would presume. Gonna go for the Cross Chop, hits for neutral damage, and it does add up with the counters. They're not going to stick around to tank any more damage, as they want that Drapion on our Cresselia. So going to throw the Night Slash, hits for super effective damage on the Psychic-type Cresselia. And we're on a roll here. We're up a shield. We're shielding out the potential Moonblast. And guys, I'm reading that this Cresselia is not running the highly recommended legacy move of Grass Knot. I'm reading that they're running Future Sight, which I do not recommend for reasons like this, guys. When you need to get to a lower energy cost move in a pinch, such as this situation where we are in the red and on low health, it's very nice to go for that Grass Knot. Not to mention the obvious threat of super effective damage on all of the water types in this meta. We say bye-bye to the Cresselia. That's why you want to run Grass Knot. That Drapion could not do much of anything. We were going to make it to a Moonblast, which KOs from that range. Good game, well played. I think we may have set a personal record for the most top lefts in a set. They were coming in quite a bit. And here we go. Articuno lead, gonna stay in a little bit. Pretty neutral lead. The plan here is to tank a couple of their Icy Winds. They're going for Icy Wind number 1. We want to chip this thing down. It is pretty bulky, guys. Those of you who are unfamiliar with Articuno, has some very decent bulk. But we do want to preserve our Cresselia, because a lot of Articuno leads definitely almost often have a Giratina in the back. So Giratina, if that is the case, really has nowhere to go with this team. But Cresselia is the worst matchup for it, but it can hit it with super effective damage. We're going to swap into Snorlax here, and they're staying in a little bit to debuff us with an Icy Wind. It is very tempting to do so, and most players do go that path, but not before tanking a non-debuff Body Slam from a Shadow Snorlax with Stab. That did quite a bit to a pretty bulky Pokemon, and they finally exit into a Stunfisk, and we have the energy lead. They did not build up to an EQ. This is a Rock Slide. They can go straight Rock Slide. It is the safer play rather than play the bait game. But hey, we are absolutely loaded on energy. We have been debuffed. They can tank this, but they choose to shield. That is amazing. And we are not going to shield our Snorlax. Gonna take the shield advantage. They go Rock Slide here, and now it is Obstagoon time for the Stunfisk. Again, why you want to run Cross Chop for these very, very bulky steel types in this meta, like G-Fisk, like Registeel, and they go Rock Slide again. I'm not sure what this Stunfisk trainer is doing. And we did CMP tie them to yet another Rock Slide. Maybe they're single moved. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing here. They're just going straight Rock Slide. It's quite interesting to see. But we're going to just overload a little bit. They tried to catch what they thought to be a Cross Chop onto their Giratina. Read this team like a book, guys. There's the Giratina running Dragon Breath. And it is all but over. They stopped attacking, and we can see the notification there. They top left. They said, no, I'm out of here. I've had enough, as they do concede the match. It was over, I will say. There was no hope for the remainder of that team, but good game, well played nonetheless. I'm telling you guys, if you have access to these 3 Pokemon, which is quite likely that you do, I would suggest running this team. It was amazing. Tapu Fini lead, they swap into Registeel, just like in the opening battle. This team could consist of either a Talonflame or a Trevenant as the third. We've been seeing quite a bit of this team. It is quite strong, even despite the nerf from Registeel in Season 12 of Pokemon Go Battle League. Again, why we run Cross Chop on Obstagoon. And I gotta say, the attack weight, I think, might have helped quite a bit against these bulky steel types, despite us continuing to forget to put the right one. It just got to a point to where I knew that we were running the wrong one, and I rolled with it. It was winning. I just kept going with it. It was on a roll, my goodness. And speaking of on a roll, we farm it all the way down. Like I said, you have to go to the 2 shield with Registeel. It is the only way to maintain the alignment you need. And at this point, we do something insanely risky. We go into the Snorlax, reading that there is a 50% chance that there is a Trevenant in the back. It could have absolutely been a Talonflame. That's why that was an extremely risky play. But my goodness, no risk, no reward. That's often the case in Pokemon Go Battle League. And the fact that this Tapu Fini is staying in with a 2 shield advantage for a potential Talonflame is quite telling, my friends. There's a very good chance that there's a Trevenant quaking in its boots in the back, and they're shielding. They're trying like heck to take out this Snorlax. I'm reading. There's a 100%. At this point, there's 100% a Trevenant in the back. Gonna wait down the switch timer, expecting it. There it is! You cannot hide forever, my friend. Trevenant was quaking in its boots in the back, but it has to face its fate now, guys. There's no running from this situation right here. They can go Seed Bomb all they want, guys. We are absolutely loaded. We banked tons of energy on our Obstagoon. They need 3 Seed Bombs to KO. They cannot Shadow Claw us down despite how much damage this one will do. They cannot farm down, and we are at the back-to-back. It is lights out for this Trevenant, I'm afraid. Oh, you love it when a plan works out, guys. And we boost, adding insult to injury to this poor Trevenant. My goodness, it had some heavy lifting to do, but with 2 normal types in the back, not gonna happen. We go into Cresselia. We were a couple of Psycho Cuts off from the Grass Knot, which will absolutely allow us to say bye-bye to the Tapu Fini. I'm telling you guys, this double normal team was absolutely putting in the work, and that is the team, my friends. Good game, well played to our opponent, and 5-0 with double normal on this team featuring Obstagoon and Snorlax. I'm telling you, it was putting in the work in the Open Ultra League. It was a lot of fun to run. Very, very effective. Cresselia on the lead is quite powerful. You will often find yourself forcing your almost said enemy. We're not enemies. Your opponent to swap out and give up switch advantage, allowing you to align appropriately. You just really want to protect that Cresselia lead from the very powerful ghost types in this meta, like Trevenant, like Shadow Claw Giratina. And that's why you back it up with two very strong normal types. And that's a recipe for a lot of wins, as we saw in this video. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.